Hello, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I welcome you all once again to our Arabic proficiency lessons. And inshallah, in this lesson, we look at our lesson number or topic number 52 in the book Alqirā-atur-Rāshida. And our topic for today is Al-Ramaية. I hope we are all in good shape of faith and health to receive these lessons with a sound mind. We have a whole lot of new vocabularies here to look at, inshallah. So let's pay attention and have our vocabulary book with us so that we record whatever new thing we meet here. Our topic is Al-Ramaية. Al-Ramayatu is shooting. Shooting is from the verb rama. Now, rama is to throw. So shooting is considered, you're also throwing something. So the noun out of it, Al-Ramaية or Rami, they all come under shooting. Whether you are shooting an arrow, whether you are shooting a bullet, whatever you are shooting falls under a Ramaية. Okay. So if I say Rama al-waladu, Rama al-waladu hajaran, the boy threw a stone. So that is the verb Rama. Now we come to the text itself. It says, Sa'altu abi an yashtariya li bundukiyatan saghiratan. Sa'altu abi, I asked my father, an yashtariya li, to buy for me. An yashtariya, to buy, li, for me. Bundukiyatan, bundukiya is a gun, G-U-N. Saghiratan, small. So the boy asked the father to buy a small gun for him. Li asida at-tuyura. Asida is from sada yasidu, asidu. Why is he saying asida and not li asidu? Because the lam that is coming here is what we call lam ta'lil. Now, fortunately for us, we are running grammar lessons also. So you can refer to an-Nahw al-Wadi lessons and then you check the nawasib al-fi'l al-mudari, the articles that make the present tense verb end in the accusative case, that is take fataha. You can refer and you realize that lam al-ta'lil is part of it. When we say lam al-ta'lil, we mean lam that shows reason why some action is done. So this lam li, what does it mean? So as to. That is the meaning it brings. It says Sa'altu abi, and it shows the reason why he asked his father to buy the gun for him. So normally when this lam comes, you find a verb coming before it, and then after that the lam comes, and then the present tense verb that comes again will take fatha. This is clearly explained in the grammar lessons. Says Sa'altu abi an yashtariya li bundukiyatan saghiratan. I asked my father to buy for me a small gun. Why? And then he says li asida to you. That is why we have this asida coming with fatha. If without the lam, it would have been asidu. From sada yasidu, he hunts. The verb sada means to hunt. He says li asida to you, so that I hunt birds. He wants to use it to hunt birds. B-I-R-D-S, birds. I don't want the pronunciation to cause any confusion. The plural of toir, toir. Kel yamam, birds like what? It says kel yamam, like the yamam. And there is something here, kel yamam wal hamam. Let's look at these two. Al yamam is a dove. Al-Hamam is also a dove. Now if you hear they say Al-Hamam Zagil in one of these Jua videos, that is the messenger pigeon. I don't know how you might be pronouncing it in your country, but I think P-I-G-E-O-N, that the messenger dove. The one they used to put letter on their leg and they will leave it to send a message. In one of the Johar series videos, it says Al-Hamam Zagil, the messenger dove. Now al-hamam and yamam, they are both doves, the same thing, the same animal, but the difference is that yamam is kind of the wild version. Yamam would like not to stay home. It's not domestic. Pay attention. Yamam, the one with yai, is not so domestic. It prefers to live on its own in the bushes, in the forest, be flying around like any other bird, free. If you want to keep a yamam at home and make it domestic, it will be very difficult. You can keep it in the cage several days, several years. When you open the cage and it goes, it will not come back again. It's hard to make it domestic. It's hard to tame it. But hammam is the normal one we keep in our homes. The doves that you will find a small cage and there is a dove in it in somebody's house. That is what we call hammam. When you open, the dove will fly around and come back to the cage again. It is very domestic. But they are both doves. So yamam, I found the name, it says streptopelia, but it's the same dove. When you look at it, you can check yamam and check hammam. You find the same dove, but there's that there are species, differences in the species. Okay. And then it says, Walqirā. So he wants to hunt the wild dove and hunt the domestic dove and also hunt Alqirā, which is crow. C-R-O-W, crow. He wants to hunt that one too. Alladhi, now the crow, he's describing it. Walqirā alladhi yu'dhi kathiran. And the ghurab, that hurts a lot. That is the crow, it hurts a lot. Whether it hurts its fellow animals or it hurts human beings a lot. Yu'dhi. From the word adha. Adha is harm. Adha is he has harmed. Okay, and then we have yu'dhi. Yu'dhi. Alladhi yu'dhi kasiran. That which harms a lot. وَيَلِغُ فِي الْمَاءِ. The verb yaligu is the present tense verb from walaga. Waw fatha, lam fatha, gain fatha. Walaga. And walaga is to lick. To lick. Now if he says وَيَلِغُ فِي الْمَاءِ, that is, it licks water. When it flies around, it can get on top of the water and then lick the water like that. Okay. So these are the animals he wants to hunt. It says وَأَتَمَرَّنَ. Atamarrana is that he will exercise, train. From the original verb or the infinitive case verb tamarrana, to train, to exercise. Okay. It is from the noun tamreen. When we say tamreen, exercise. When you look at textbooks, after the whole text like that one in An-Nahl Wadih, after the lesson, you come to see tamreenat, exercises. Okay, so the verb tamarrana is to exercise or to train. So it says wa atamarrana ala rami, and I will train on shooting. Now look at the rami here and then the Rmāyah here. Both are nouns. Ar-rami is the verbal noun from rama. Ar-Rmāyah is also a noun from rama, to throw. Okay, so now he wants the father to buy a gun for him so that he will train on ar-rami, that is ar-Rmāyah. Wa atamarrana al-Rmāyah, so that I will train on shooting. So he's just bringing this, regardless of the fact that he's already brought us ar-Rmāyah as the topic, so that he expands our vocabulary. So that if you see somebody using ar-Rmāyah to mean shooting or ar-rami to mean shooting, you don't go hard on the person. You have a wide vocabulary bank. Okay. Now, atamarrana is also coming with fatha because of the same lam. Li-asīdat-tuyūr, and then he put 2 dots here to show which, and then he named the birds he wants to hunt. And then he says, wa atamarrana, ay wali atamarrana, and to, another reason, and to train on shooting. Fashtara li bundukiyatan, and my father bought for me, and he bought for me a gun. Wa huqqatan min ar-rashash. Now huqqatan min ar-rashash, when we say huqqa, it is hookah, just like the English, H-O-O-K-A-H, hookah, min ar-rashash. And when you have a gun, there is a part that keeps the bullets. That is what is called the hookah. Sometimes that the pipe that is attached to shisha pipe is also called hookah. Any pipe that allows something to run through it. And even when you have this gun that has a lot of bullets, machine gun, the chain of bullet, that chain that holds the bullets is called hookah also. So he says, وَحُقَّةً مِنَ الرَّشَاشِ. So he bought, that is a pipe of bullets or a holder of bullets. So the father bought the gun for him and he bought a hookah of the bullet. A rashash here, when we say rashash, from the verb rasha, to sprinkle. Now when you look at rashash literally, you go and finding meanings like water, sprinkling, stuff like that. But rashash here, he used it to mean a rasas, bullets. Because the gun came with a bullet. Now this soft bullet that he bought for him, the rubber bullet and stuff like that. So hukkatan min al-rashash, and a hukka also has a meaning of jar, J-A-R, or jag, J-U-G, a bowl kind of. So it can be he bought a gun for him and a bowl of bullets. But then best of it is if you have the gun, that holder of the bullet is called the hukka, and then the bullets, the rounds, are called the al-rashash. I said he used the rashash here to mean al-rasas. So you can check for al-rasas and you find that it is bullets. Okay. And then he says, وَكُنْتُ إِذَا رَجَعْتُ مِنَ الْمَدْرَسَةِ. And I used to, when I returned from madrasa, أو كان يوم عطلة, or it was a holiday, or that day is a holiday, I don't go anywhere. أخذت البندقية, I take the gun, وعددا من الرشاش, and a number of the bullets. Now this rashash, there is something about it again I wanted to say, I almost forgot, alhamdulillah. Pepper spray. We have this thing called pepper spray. We call it rashashul fulful. Rashashul fulful, pepper spray. Rashash is actually kind of spray because of the verb rasha. Rasha, to spray, to sprinkle. So I'm telling you here that so that you don't go confusing it. Maybe you made the word here and you use a rashash here to give the meaning of rasas, and it fits it perfectly well. So he takes the gun and a number of bullets. وَذَهَبْتُ إِلَى الْبُسْتَانِ, and I go to the garden. You've known the difference between al-bustan and al-hadiqa. Al-hadiqa is the garden with fence. Al-bustan is a garden without fence. وَذَهَبْتُ إِلَى الْحَدِيقَةِ أَرْمِي الطُّيُورَ, I go to the garden whilst I throw or I shoot at the birds. So you go to shoot at the birds. وَفِي الْأَوَّلِ لَا أُصِيبُ طَائِرًا, and in the first instance, I وَفِي أَوَّلِ وَحْلَةٍ, in the first instance, or وَفِي الْأَوَّلِ, the first instance, لَا أُصِيبُ. So here you see the verb coming with dhamma. أُصِيبُ, check it here, أُصِيبُ, not the asida kind of verbs here with fatha, atamarrana with fatha. Present tense verb, when it comes alone like this, it comes with dhamma, because there is nothing here to effect any change on it. Okay, it says in the first instance, la usibu ta'iran, I do not get any bird. When you shoot, it doesn't hit any target. Asaba is to get something right. Asaba is to get something right. Okay. Or to get the target. So if it says la usibu ta'iran, I do not hit any bird. Wa ukhti'u kulla marratin, and I err, E-R-R, I err any time, or I err each time. I make mistakes each time. ثم صرت أصيب مرة في 3 طلقات. ثم صرت, I ثم أصبحت, and then I became, and then I started. صرت, that is the changing, تحول الحال, the changing of a condition. So ثم صرت أصيب, and then now I started hitting target. I started hitting target. مرة I started hitting target once مرة في 3 طلقات, in 3 shootings. So he will shoot 3 times and then he will hit once. Now, 3 طلقات, there is something again here I would want to expand. The more reason why these days I do not do frequent recordings, the time is very limited. My time is very limited, and so when I want to get enough time to be able to sit and then record, because our level now, we don't just do the normal explanation. We need to explain certain rulings that we come across, so far as it doesn't escape us. So if it says 3 طلقات, the number salat here, we can see that it doesn't have ta marbuta, not salatati. Why? Because it is counting talaqat, which is feminine. The singular is talaqatun. One shooting is talaqatun. When numbers from 3 to 9 or 3 to 10, the number has to differ from what it is counting. So you say 3 chairs, 4 televisions, 6 cars, 7 boys, 8 girls, 9 students. Now you look at the students, the cars, the whatever you are counting. Is it masculine? If it is masculine, make the number feminine. So if you are counting something like al-awlad, al-awlad, we know the singular is that what? Waladun, and walad is masculine. In that case, if I'm going to say 3 boys, I will say thalathatu awlad, arba'atu awlad, khamsatu awlad, sittatu awlad, sab'atu awlad, thamaniyatu awlad. I'll say tis'atu awlad. So that is what I mean. The number has to be feminine against a masculine, something you are enumerating which is masculine. Now if you are counting girls or something which is feminine, like sayyara, sayyarat, you need to make the number masculine, like in this case 3 طلقات, 3 shots. So ثم صرت أصيب مرة في 3 طلقات. Then I started hitting the target once in 3 shootings. وأصيد, you see here, not أصيدة, أصيد بالضمة, because there is no factor that is making it end in fatha. وأصيد بعد الطيور, and I get some birds. I hit some birds. حتى تمرنت في شهرين, until I trained for 2 months. واشتد ساعدي. Now this is a very beautiful expression. When we say اشتد ساعد, what do we mean? We mean something has become strong. But sa'id is basically this part of the arm, the forearm. That is what we call sa'id. So if I say ishtadda sa'idi, that is I became strong. Not necessarily my arm became strong, but then I became strong in whatever field I'm doing. If somebody is playing soccer and you say هذا الولد بدأ يتمرن كيف يلعب الكرة والآن اشتد سعيده. اشتد سعيده. The boy was learning how to play soccer and now he has become strong, he has become better. When we say ishtadda sa'iduhu, he has become better, he has become strong, generally. But ishtadda, to become hard, strong, firm. Sa'id is the forearm. So he learned to shoot about 2 months and then his forearm became strong. That said that he can shoot and hit a target. But generally, ishtadda sa'id, what we mean is that something has become better or strong. Okay. He says, وَرَأَيْتُ إِنْدَ رَجُلٍ مِنَ الْأَغْنِيَا شَيْئًا غَرِيبًا. So what do? You bring this here. You come and fix it here. Then you read, وَرَأَيْتُ شَيْئًا غَرِيبًا. I saw something strange. إِنْدَ رَجُلٍ, from a man, min al-agniya, among the wealthy people or rich people. Al-agniya, the plural of gani, a wealthy person. So I saw something strange at a wealthy man, or with a wealthy man, or a man among the wealthy people. كانت عنده صفيحة. He had a plate. كانت عنده, he had Safihatun, a plate. Now safiha can mean a plate, a sheet, a surface, any surface. A table surface can be called safiha. A surface of a book, a safiha. Surface of everything is safiha. And then safiha can also mean a can. C-A-N, a can. Container can also be called safiha. So the man had a sheet or a can. وَكَانَ عَلَى وَجْهِ الصَّفِيحَةِ مِثْلُ فَلْسٍ. And on the face of that particular surface that he had, or a metal sheet that he had, there was what? مِثْلُ فَلْسٍ. Fals is penny, P-E-N-N-Y, penny, a coin. That is where we got flus from. You hear the Arabs call it money, flus. It's from fals, the coins. So on the face of this big sheet, safiha, that the man had, there is something in the shape of a coin on the wajh safiha, on the face of the sheet, or on the face of the can. You get to understand why I'm bringing the vocabulary can also, or container. Because the game, I don't really know the game very well, but I think it has to do with a container, and the face of it has a coin, or the cover of it has a coin shape like that on it, something round. Lahu, this thing is wrong. It's supposed to be dhamma. Lahu lawnun yalma'u. It has a color that sparkles. The coin-like thing on the face of the container, it sparkles. Yalma, lama'a is to sparkle, to glitter. وَيَظْهَرُ مِنْ بَعِيدٍ. And it appears from afar. So when you stand afar, you can see that round thing there. It's a game. Those who know it by now know the game. It's a shooting game. وَكَانَ بِجَانِبِ هَذَا الْفَلْسِ. And on the side of this round-like thing, مِثْلُ جِرَابٍ. There was the likeness of a pocket, or a purse, or a sack. Jirab is a pocket, a purse, or a sack. Anything that looks like a pocket kind like thing, purse or something. كَانَ يَشْحَنُهُ بِالْبَارُودِ. The man used to fill it up. Shahana is to fill something up. So when we say shahan, is the word for freight. F-R-E-I-G-H-T. It has to do with container on the sea, those kind of things. Freight. Loading is called shahan. We talk about phone and we say, Hal indaka shahan? Do you have a charger? Why? Because the charger fills my battery up. So we call it shahan. Okay. So the man had, on this surface of the container, there was a coin-like thing, and on the side of this coin-like thing, there is a pocket. And the pocket there, the man used to fill it up with what? Barud. Barud can be called rifle, R-I-F-L-E, rifles. The man used to fill it with rifles, or gunpowder is also barud. So the bullet or whatever it is for the gun that is used for the shooting is kept in this sack or a pocket. وَيَصُدُّهُ بِالْقِرْطَاسِ. And he will cover. Sadda is to seal or cover, and he used to cover it or block it with kirtas, with a sheet, a paper. You can give that to kirtas. He used to cover it with a paper. وَكَانَ فِي هَذِهِ الصَّفِيحَةِ. This is why I'm saying it's a container, and I'm not using the sheet more. Safiha here, look at it. وَكَانَ فِي هَذِهِ الصَّفِيحَةِ. And inside this, there was inside this container, rasmun min hadidin. Rasmun can be said to be drawing. Rasmun can be said to be a molded thing, something that has been molded. So it says rasmun min hadid. In the container, there was something that was molded out of metal. Hadid is metal. What is it? Jundiyun, a soldier. Fi libasi jundiyin, in a military dress. Libasi jundiyin. So there was a soldier in the military dress. Fi yadihi kubba'atun, and he had in his hand a cap, helmet. H-E-L-M-E-T. He was holding a helmet in his hand. Basically, the military cap, a cap that is worn to protect your head from whatever, is called qubba. Okay, so the military inside this container had a cap in his hand, and now we have a container like that, and on the surface of the container there is a coin-like thing that is shiny. When you stand afar, you can see that thing as a target. So inside the container there is this soldier wearing his military uniform with a cap, but it's a metal thing that has been molded. وَكُنَّا نُبَارِي فِي الرَّمِي. Nubari is from bara. We used to compete. Bara is to challenge each other, compete. وَكُنَّا نُبَارِي فِي الرَّمِي. We used to compete in shooting. وَنَرْمِي هَذَا الْفَلْسِ. And we shoot this coin-like thing, the penny-like thing, on the face of the Sofiha. بِالرَّشَاش, with the bullets. But these bullets, as I've said, rubber bullets, they are nothing hard. So they used to target that coin-like thing and shoot at it. فَإِذَا أَصَابَ إِنسَانٌ الْفَلْسَ. If a person hits the coin or that shape, انطلق المدفع. انطلق is to move. Al-midfa is anything. You see, if I make a lock, a trap, and I hold it with something that when the thing moves, the trap goes loose. Something that allows for shooting. Any lock that when it moves, there is a shooting. It's called midfa. It causes, it pushes something. So when somebody hits the target, that lock moves, kind of pushes. Okay? So if that moves, وَسَمِعَ النَّاسُ صَوْتَهُ مِنْ بَعِيدٍ, and people hear his voice from afar. وَانْفَتَحَ الْبَابِ, so people hear the voice of the soldier from afar. وَانْفَتَحَ الْبَابِ, and the door will open. وَخَرَجَ رَجُلٌ مِّنْ حَدِيدٍ, and a man made of metal will come out. So when you are able to target the coin and you shoot it, something that is holding the face of the container set loose, and then the coin opens, the thing opens, and then this soldier who was inside comes out. وَخَرَجَ رَجُلٌ مِّنْ حَدِيدٍ, a man made of metal comes out. فِي يَدِهِ عَلَامَةٌ, he has a sign in his hand. يُشِيرُ بِهَا, he points with it. إِلَى الْهَدَفِ, to the goal. So there is a goal, a target. When he comes out, he has a mark in his hand. He will use it to point to the target. وَيُخْبِرُ بِالْإِصَابَةِ, and he informs that you've hit target, or informs that you've gotten it accurate. Isaba is the verbal noun from asaba, to hit target. So he will give information that you've hit target by pointing to the goalpost. Just like the referee, when you score and he wants to say that you've scored, he points to the center. So it's a goal. That is it. وَيُخْبِرُ بِالْإِصَابَةِ, he informs that the target has been hit. وَظَهَرَ الْجُنْدِيُّ, and the soldier comes out. رَافِعًا قُبَّعَتَهُ, whilst raising his cap, his helmet, he raises it. يُسَلِّمُ عَلَى الْمُصِيبِ. Musib is the person who has hit the target, or the person who has gotten an answer right. If I ask a question and you get it right, you are musib. رَافِعًا قُبَّعَتَهُ, he comes out whilst raising his helmet. يُسَلِّمُ عَلَى الْمُصِيبِ, and he salutes the one who has gotten the target, one who has been able to hit the target. I remember something that we were told when we learned this word musib. We were asked what will be the feminine of musib. If a lady shoots the target or she answers a question right, what will be her name? Of course, you add ta marbota here, and it will be what? Musiba, musibatun. And you know musiba, the other meaning of musiba, calamity. So it was a funny thing, like it just happened to be a coincidence. When we learned the word al-musib, and he said, what if the one who has answered the question right? Because if you answer a question right, you are called musib. Then if a lady answers the question right, what will she be called? Musiba. Or if she is able to shoot the target, she'll be called musiba. And musiba has a meaning of calamity. So it just happened to be a coincidence, a funny one though. وَكَأَنَّهُ يُهَنِّئُهُ. So he comes out saluting the person who has gotten it right, as if he is congratulating him. Hanna'a is to congratulate. So it's as if yuhanni'uhu, he is congratulating him, binajahihi, with his success. Comes out doing that to show you congratulations for your success. وَإِذَا أَخْطَأَ النَّاسُ. And if people get it wrong, لَمْ يَكُنْ شَيْءٌ, nothing happens. لَمْ يَنْطَلِقِ الْمِدْفَعُ. The lock that says the door open does not move. وَلَمْ يَتَحَرَّكِ الْجُنْدِيُّ مِنْ مَكَانِهِ. And the soldier does not move from his place. وَمِنَ الْغَرِيبِ أَنِّي. And it is most surprising, it is surprising to know that وَمِنَ الْغَرِيبِ, it is surprising, or it is shocking that أَنِّي كُنْتُ أُصِيبُ الْفَلْسَ. I used to hit the coin-like thing. I used to hit the penny. فِي الْمَرَّةِ الثَّالِثَةِ دَائِمًا. On the third time, always. So always when I shoot, it was on the third time that I'm able to shoot target. وَإِذَا انْطَلَقَ الْمِدْفَعُ. And when the lock opens, سُرِرْتُ سُرُورًا عَظِيمًا. I become extremely happy. Okay, and he says, وَبَعْدَ أَشْهُرٍ. And after months, قَدَرْتُ, I was able, and أَسْتَعْمِلَ, I was able to use الْبُنْدِقِيَّةَ الْكَبِيرَةَ. I was able to use the big gun. فَكُنْتُ أَخْرُجُ فِي الصَّيْدِ. I used to go out on hunting. وَأَصِيدُ الْحَمَامَ. And I hunt dove, the dove, al-akhdara, green dove. وَالْبَطَّةِ. And duck, D-U-C-K. وَأَنْوَاعًا مِنَ الطُّيُورِ. And types of birds. Okay. وَسَمِعْتُ الْمُعَلِّمَ يَقُولُ. And I heard the teacher saying, إِنَّ النَّبِيَّ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَسَلَّمَ. Indeed, or verily, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam حَثَّ عَلَى الرَّمْيِ. He had urged people on to, he has advised towards shooting. كَثِيرًا, a lot. He has urged people towards shooting a lot. Then it was shooting arrows. وَشَارَكَ فِي الْمُنَاضَلَةِ. And he engaged, sharaka, he engaged in al-munadala. Munadala is competition. Al-mubara, competition. He engaged in competition. وَقَالَ. And he said, Urmu, shoot or throw, Ya Bani Ismail, O children of Ismail. فَإِنَّ أَبَاكُمْ. For verily your father, كَانَ رَامِيًا, was a shooter. So you tell the people, the Arabs, that, oh Arabs, shoot. That is, learn to shoot. Shoot well. For your father was a shooter. وَقَالَ. And he said, أَلَا إِنَّ الْقُوَّةَ الرَّمْيُ. Verily strength is shooting. Verily strength is what? Shooting. أَلَا إِنَّ الْقُوَّةَ الرَّمْيُ. Verily strength is shooting. A repetition. Repetition for emphasis. فَسُرِرْتُ كَثِيرًا. So when he heard the teacher said that, فَسُرِرْتُ كَثِيرًا, I became happy. وَعَلِمْتُ أَنَّ عَمَلِي. And I knew that, and I got to know that my work, amali, what I'm doing, لَمْ يَكُنْ عَبَثًا. It wasn't useless. When you say something is abath, it is useless. وَأَنِّي لَمْ أُضَيِّعْ وَقْتِي. And that I did not waste my time. ضَيَّعَ وَقْتَهُ. He has wasted his time. ضَيَّعْتُ وَقْتِي. I have wasted my time. لَا تُضَيِّعْ وَقْتَكَ. Don't waste your time. Okay, so with this we come to the end of this lesson. I pray we've all understood it. Whatever is not understood hereof, please kindly draw my attention. If I jumped a word, call my attention to it, or an expression you didn't get it right, call my attention inshallah, so that I will clarify. Our aim is for us to understand and be able to use it. The practice, I'll remind you again, keep on practicing. Writing, keep on writing on your own. Keep on speaking with somebody. Chat. Try to chat in Arabic language, inshallah. Till we meet again, have a good Arabic time. Have a nice Arabic time. Questions always. And then inshallah we do our best to clarify. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.